Maybe they're gonna kill Bill this time. Maybe.
Yeah.
We don't
I
know.
mean, one does not simply kill Bill. And speaking of our
Yes.
second guest, making his return to the channel, away from his pack, it's Tyler Wolff. What's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot. How about you?
Yeah,
He's got that amazing beard that I wish I could grow out. I can't grow a beard. Mine just gets to like scruffy level, and then I just give up.
Dude, it's kind of the same for me, man. I'm jealous of your beard. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's got
Hey, in all fairness, I think it took till like maybe the pandemic for my mustache to actually connect with everything. Like, no joke. As soon as I got out of high school, I basically like was rocking the chin strap for years. It was ridiculous.
I'm convinced that when you're
looking good now.
Canadian, when you have Canadian blood, you just have the ability to grow like a lumberjack beard. It's just mandatory in the blood.
I've seen people fail miserably at that, but
But we have that actually just reminded me. We have 4 countries represented. We have France, England, Canada, and the U.S. here today. So that's pretty cool. I always love when that kind of stuff happens.
It's gonna be an interesting panel, I guess, you know. And of course, you know, Big C, dude, you're a Sasquatch. You lived for like 2 million years. Of course, 2004 felt like 100 years ago. What do you expect, man?
But I do remember that being a good year for movies because that was Shrek 2, that was Spider-Man 2.
Yes,
God, that was the year sequels were actually better than the original. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Shrek 2, man. Yeah, we got the OJ reference, of course. OJ. Yes, we have.
I don't even want to go there.
Nobody wants to go there.
You know where I want to go? I want to go to talking about this film because I just watched it last night and I forgot it's actually pretty damn good.
Dude,
know?
same.
Like, I always forget how good the second volume is because I never get to it. I always watch the first one and I just never get to the second one for some reason.
Yeah. I guess we should start with Tyler. What were your where were you the first time you watched Kill Bill Volume 2, if you did? Well, what are your thoughts on the sequel?
Well, second time. Oh, sorry. I thought the screen froze there for a sec. But, I think I told this the first time I was on here. The first time I remember seeing Kill Bill was on my couch eating anything soft that I could because I was just recovering from my wisdom teeth surgery. And nothing better than a 4-hour movie of complete and utter bloodshed to make me feel better about myself. And thankfully, I did accomplish that. And I remember I would have been like 19 or 20 when I saw that for the first time because 2004, I would have been 8 years old. I had seen pictures, but I had never seen my parents watch it for painfully obvious reasons. And people always have that reputation that Volume 1 is the best because it's got the most action, it's the quickest pacing and everything like that. But I actually kind of prefer the second one for being a lot more story-based, for having more of that essential Tarantino dialogue that sometimes in this one especially, it's stretched out a little too long. But what helps is that as opposed to the first one where you see the bride in like full form, just slicing through 88 people as often as we can, in this one, she's a hell of a lot more vulnerable. We see how she started off. We see how she failed even as an expert trying to get revenge on all these other people. She has to struggle a hell of a lot more in this one. And it feels more suspenseful, for lack of a better term.
But the things that she survives, and you can't call her a Mary Sue or anything like that because she does get her ass kicked. She has to learn throughout the movie. They show her struggling and learning and all that stuff. She is a well-written character top to bottom. But the one aspect that will always make me just boggle my mind is that she survives a lot of shit that no one would survive. And this being one of them.
It's actually one of the notes that I put. So the note is like, shoes with rock salt, and right under it is a huge arrow. It says, is suspension of disbelief pulled too far in Kill Bill Volume 2 as opposed to Volume 1? Because let's face it, Volume 1 did have, you know, an amount of suspension of disbelief, especially with all the flying around versus the crazy 88s. But so this is my question to the panel and, you know, to the chat, of course. Do you guys think that suspension of disbelief is pulled too far for Volume 2, considering what she does?
And I want Z to say the line he just typed into the chat. So go ahead, Z. You go first.
Ain't nobody a badass with a double dose of rock salt dug deep in her tits. Brilliant.
And then I love the next line after these, like, you got it's like, what is it? You got like no titties or something like that. It probably hurts a bit, but one's as big as yours. I can only imagine the pain or something along those lines.
I can't imagine how much that would sting.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, do you guys think suspension of disbelief is taken too far in Volume 2 or not?
I don't
Yes
think
and
so.
no. I think that there is scenes where if you can accept the fact that this has its basis in kung fu movies, which already had this. You look at a lot of kung fu films, and you have to suspend your disbelief like insane. Even more recent ones, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, you have to suspend that there's like mysticism and stuff. So I can accept it. And like I said, for the most part, she's written very well to survive these kind of things. I'll allow it. It's like
For me,
rule of cool.
For me, there's fantastical stuff, especially in the Pai Mei sequence where he stands on her sword, or he does that stupid trick of like throwing the sword back into the sheath in one go that make it like consistent enough with the first one. But because this movie takes a grittier approach in comparison to the first one, and I think that's what makes it jarring for some people when she survives stuff like this. But at the same time, like, the way she flew in the air after being hit by rock salt, like, would that ever really happen? Like,
a shotgun will knock you on your ass.
Well, I'm sure it can knock you on your ass, but like not make you go flying like that. At least I haven't seen it done. I would love to, so long as nobody would die doing it, but that'll never happen.
Daryl Hannah, L Driver, ladies and gentlemen. What does he say at this point? I think he says something about like bitch or so. I forget the line.
Yeah, so he calls her. She goes, "Bill, wrong brother, you hateful bitch."
Yep.
And
And of course, after the call, we switch back to, I guess, what Bud likes to call a Texas funeral, ladies and gentlemen. And we cut back to a different aspect ratio, which I don't know. What do you
Thank
guys think about the aspect ratio changing? Just for, I guess, what is it, 15 seconds, pretty much?
It went on for like a minute, for as long as she's in
In
the
the truck.
trailer.
Yeah.
And I had to look at my laptop, and I'm just sitting there because like when it cuts to the moon, you can't see it. It's only like when you get a close up of her face and her feet, and I'm just going, wait, what the fuck
Yep.
is this? And then he pulls her out, like goes right back to it. And I'm just sitting there going,
And then doesn't it go back to it when she's in the casket as well?
Once they take her out of the truck, they never reuse the aspect ratio again throughout the entire movie.
It does create an era, like an air of claustrophobia, at least, which I think would have actually been really well used if they would have did it in the
now that you mention it, yeah, like it does switch to black and white for a little bit while she's like freaking out in the coffin, but other than that,
I mean, yeah, for me, this I've seen movies where changing aspect ratio actually serves a purpose in terms of the story, and the most recent one that I've seen is it's The Night. No, it's not The Night Comes First. It comes
at
the
night.
Yeah, thank you.
Love that one. Love
Yes.
that one.
It comes at night.
Wanted to punch out the high schoolers next to me in the face the entire time, but
yeah, It Comes at Night is a fantastic
guys,
movie.
I'm serious. Like their boyfriends had to apologize to me in the bathroom for
God.
how obnoxious they were. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who was originally supposed to play Pai Mei? It wasn't originally supposed to be Gordon Liu.
Is it an actor?
Sort of. He's involved. He's very involved with this project.
Yen Wu Peng.
Very involved with this project. In fact, his name might be the very thing that gets said in the beginning. It was supposed to be Quentin Tarantino was supposed to play this character.
No fucking way.
Not even kidding. And he opted to not do it. And because they changed it last minute and Gordon Liu was on set, they just gave him the part.
I do know that he originally was going to have Pai Mei's lips speaking Cantonese while he did a bad dub of his own voice over it.
I mean, if Tarantino dubbed it like that, that would have been hilarious.
Dude, get Michael J. White as Black Dynamite to dub over this. That would have been great.
I'm actually kind of pissed that Michael J. White deleted scene didn't make it in there. I mean, for starters, I don't know why he had a British accent in that. That was completely pointless. But for
Mm.
for those like who haven't seen the deleted scene, like Bill and Kiddo are just walking down the street. All of a sudden, like spaghetti western music, Jai White and his crew are like waiting for them. It's just like, gentlemen, can I help you? And I'm not kidding. Jai White just goes, you bastard. The only thing you can do for me is die. You killed my master, and now I'm gonna kill you. You know, listening to you guys laugh, maybe I do know why this deleted scene didn't make it.
It would have been hilarious. Yeah, it's true. It would have completely given me tonal whiplash. I would have been like, "What the fuck?"
They should have did it as a post-credit scene.
They should have.
God, that would have been great.
That would have been great. Yeah. And so of course, what she
Wait,
does
before
is,
we move on,
yeah.
uninspired, please. Sorry, not uninspired. Zeke, please give Tyler a rating on his British accent.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, well, he just did it, so.
I missed it.
Oh. Well, never mind then.
Go on, Tyler. Go again. I'm just getting myself a drink. Sorry.
He's laughing now, so it's not gonna come out the same.
I was not going to do it very.
Just do me a favor. Just put your rating in the comments once the stream is over. I'll make it easy. I'll put a timestamp just so you won't miss it.
My God. I'm so sorry. Sorry. No,
it's fine.
I
just thought of that on the spot anyway. Don't worry about it.
Hey, I made my YouTube boss and some other friend of mine just laugh their asses off. That's more than an accomplishment for me.